Welcome to this episode of the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. I'm a business and LinkedIn coach as well as a luxury brand consultant. I help business owners take their brands to the next level by implementing my personal techniques when it comes to growing their service, sales, and social media. Over the past 20 years, I've grown multiple brands in the beauty, hospitality, health, and luxury travel markets. I've exceeded all of their expectations, and I'm here to share my tips and tricks on how I did it. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today, so you can definitely expect some pretty crazy stories to be shared here as well. Don't forget, the conversations happen after each episode in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. That's where I'll be every week to answer all of your questions. Now, if you want to hear any of my exclusive news first, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com and sign up for my weekly VIP newsletter. Now let's get started with today's show. Hey everyone, I hope that you are having a great day. Today I want to talk to you about perfection and how it can literally drive you nuts. Now, if you follow me on social media, you know that or even listen to any of my other shows, you would know that I am a serious perfectionist and super OCD about a lot of things. Is it unhealthy about some things? Probably, but I've also worked in a lot of luxury markets where cleaning with Q-tips is a must, and appearance has to be up to par and perfect, and your demeanor as well as content you're putting out, and as well, of course, service too, right? So everything I've done over the last, I'd say 15 years has had to be absolutely perfect. So then I bring those characteristics and traits into my personal life and my business, and now it sometimes drives me nuts because I'm not working for anybody else anymore. I'm working for myself. But I still have these high standards that I'm so used to, which of course is excellent when you bring it into your own business. But sometimes it can drive you nuts. So I want to give you a couple examples of things that are not perfect in my life. And I have decided that it's okay because I'm human. And I'm not perfect by all means, but I do strive for perfection when it comes to things with my business, things that I do online, and in my personal life. So here's a couple things. Number one is I need professional headshots. And if you have a business online, you should absolutely have a headshot that's current and that actually looks like you, and have them the same all across multiple pages of your social media, because if you have blonde hair in one photo and black in another, people may not recognize you and realize that that's you, or it might throw them off, or they're going to get confused, and that would hurt you in the long run as far as your business goes, probably. I'm pretty sure. So I'm just speaking from experience when I used to use different pictures, back in the day. So that's my first thing, that it's killing me because I don't have professional photos done yet. And it's because I was going through a lot of health issues. I'm really trying to lose weight, and I don't know what kind of lifestyle photo shoot I want to do yet. And a lot of online coaches tend to do the same, and I'm not like that. So, and it definitely involves a budget. And so that's one thing that's not perfect for me online that used to drive me nuts. But I'm like, you know what? I do so many live videos, and I'm on social media every day that people will see. I look the same. It's all across the board, the same photo. So that's fine for right now, right? So you need to learn that perfectionism will drive you crazy like that was if you don't just let it go and just be legit and real when it comes to building your brand and your business online. Another thing is grammar, and I hate that I'm really good at telling stories and coming up with content, but when it comes to grammar, for some reason, I'm always missing things. So I definitely need a proofreader. I do use some programs, spell check, but that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Why can't I just be perfect and have perfect grammar all the time? And even when I'm speaking now, I don't stutter, but what I'm thinking in my brain, it doesn't come out of my mouth. And it's a little bit slower since I've been diagnosed with my autoimmune disease. And when I watch a playback of a Facebook Live or I'm listening to a show, I'm really self-conscious about it, but I just have to keep telling myself, like, I'm not perfect. I've been through hell. I'm still alive, and I'm still putting out great content. And if you don't like the way that I look and sound, then just tune it off. Don't watch me and don't listen to my show. I have a very outgoing personality. I've always been like bubbly with a sense of humor and just kept it real. But when it comes to listening to my playbacks and watching my videos back, I just wish it was more perfect, but I've had to, tell myself, like right now, like I pause a lot because sometimes what I'm saying doesn't come out the way that I want it to, and I just want to hit like rewind. But just so you know, I don't edit any of these shows because I just want to keep it real. It takes me a long time to do editing because I'm not really familiar with it. So if I'm just putting out more content and telling you guys a story, why would I feel the need to edit that? That's just how I feel. If I do a really, really long show, it's much harder for me. So I like to keep them short and sweet, as I always say, because I just feel like it's better to give you, nuggets of wisdom, shorter nuggets of wisdom rather than really long, dragged out stories. When I launched my, I chose this light when I'm going to, oh my God, see, I can't even talk now. When I go to launch the I Chose This Life series, they'll be interviewed. Guests will be getting interviewed. So we'll be having discussions, and those will definitely be probably around 30 minutes, I'm assuming. I haven't finished recording those yet, but that should be out soon. But not to get off topic, but as far as perfectionism goes, yes, we all want to, strive to be that perfect person, but it's okay not to be. It's okay to be yourself. People make mistakes. It's life. Like, you can't always be perfect. And it will drive you absolutely nuts if you try to make everything perfect. The last show I spoke about the lessons I've learned when I launch. And it doesn't matter if you're launching a product or a service, or a group coaching, program, anything you do online or, in real life, if you're launching, you need to prep and prepare and all that, but it doesn't have to be perfect in the very beginning. You don't have to have sales funnels and landing pages all set up in the very beginning. If you have an idea, for example, my book that I'm writing right now about service, if you have an idea, just put it out there and collect those emails and make sure that when it comes time to launch, you send that list of emails, your information. That right there is something that you need to do, and that takes literally a couple minutes to set up. I use MailChimp for that, but it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're creative, you can always add on to it. So I just wanted to touch on that today and just let you know that if you're striving for perfection, that's wonderful, because I am as well. But don't beat yourself up and don't, kill yourself because you need every single thing perfect. Like right now I'm looking at my planner and there's like 6 things I wish I would have done this week, but I didn't have time. So now I'm going to try really hard and get them posted and completed today. And if I don't, then I'll add them to my week that's coming up. But if I have due dates, then I always try to get things done prior to that so that I can just have it scheduled and post. And that's something else that's great to do, is if you're striving for perfection, then start scheduling things out. I use a lot of schedulers to post my a lot of automated services to post my content online, because it just makes my life easier. And then I'm on schedule and, I have less stress and anxiety about it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on perfectionism and if you suffer from it like myself. But that's all I wanted to talk about today is don't drive yourself crazy trying to be perfect, because nobody is, I promise you. Just be the best version of yourself that you can be, and I'm telling you, you'll be much better off. So that's it for today, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you liked this episode, please let me know by writing me a review for the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I would truly appreciate it. As I always say, sharing is caring. Don't forget, the after show happens after each episode in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. That's where I'll be every week to answer all of your questions. Now, if you prefer tuning in live, you can now watch the Happy Workaholic Show, which airs every Wednesday on Facebook right on my very own business page. And for a behind-the-scenes look at my life, you can follow along on Instagram at KKinVegas, where I'm constantly posting on my feed and my stories. Lots of tips and tricks are always shared there. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk again soon.